Welcome to the Stretford End, everyone. Me, your host, Sashin Johnson, and as always, the latest Manchester United news here for you today. Of course, where I am, it is cold, it is wet, it is rainy, non-stop storming, but here at the Stretford End, as always, we want to talk about Manchester United. Lots of news to get into, so let's get into it without further ado. Subscribe to the channel, and of course, links to our socials in the description. How are you guys doing? And let me not delay any further. So, Erik ten Hag is said to give Facundo Pellistri a chance to prove his worth at Manchester United in pre-season before deciding on his immediate future. Furthermore, Manchester United will play Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford on the 31st of July in the final pre-season friendly. So, before we move on to other news, let's get into speaking about Facundo Pellistri. Of course, we know Uruguayan winger doing the business, and while his time was on loan in Spain, he impressed while he was on loan and continues to impress with his time in the national team, showing good performances, good touches, good play. And we ask ourselves, can Ten Hag improve him as a player? Will he become a squad player for next season? I don't think he would come in and start, especially since we are chasing the likes of Anthony and, still having Sancho there to as well play on the right hand side, Elanga as well, who is also there. So can Pellistri come in and, command a place in the squad to perhaps get game time in, shall I say, the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and maybe Premier League games against, no disrespect, but lesser, opposition? Ahmad as well is also another player in a similar boat to Facundo Pellistri. So let's wait and see what happens to Pellistri in the preseason. And I'm sure Ten Hag will definitely make the right decision on these types of players returning back from loan. Good to hear that Ten Hag will be having his first game at Old Trafford. So that will be a big day on the 31st of July against Rayo Vallecano. And it's going to be an exciting day to see our new manager officially on the touchline at Old Trafford, commanding his team. And of course, we wanting to see a good performance. So very excited for that and definitely want to look forward to. Moving along now with the news, we're back to speaking about Frankie de Jong, even though Anthony is in the thumbnail and you do see a quote saying, "Get it done." Definitely, we will be speaking about that later on in the video, but we speak once again about the main man, Frankie de Jong, and exactly an update on his transfer to Manchester United. And it has been reported once again by managing Barca, and it says Barcelona have officially contacted Frankie de Jong to explain why they are considering his departure for 80 plus 20 million in add-ons euros. And I quote, this is from Amarty Herrero, who is also a reporter at Managing Barca, and he says the economic situation is very, very bad and they need to sell. It is sad, but it is the reality. So, even more news confirming that Frankie de Jong is on his way to Manchester United, knowing that Barcelona have spoken to him, contacted him, and explained to him the situation. It looks more ever confident now that we will be sealing a deal for Frankie de Jong. As I said in the previous video, if you haven't seen that, definitely go and check it out. Drop a like on the video if you haven't done so. I did say that this is a massive week for Manchester United, and Ten Hag does want Frankie de Jong to be done by the end of this week, and it needs to be done by the end of this week because City have strengthened, Liverpool have strengthened, Spurs have announced, an agreement of 25 million pounds, 25 million pounds for Yves Bissouma, a defensive box-to-box midfielder who definitely could have come in and start and be a good player for us under Erik ten Hag. But our club chose not to pursue someone like him who's Premier League proven and definitely press resistant and would have been a wonderful addition to our squad. Of course, I keep mentioning Ibrahim Sangare, but Yves Bissouma would have been just as good. But again, we are showing that we are focused on the Frankie de Jong deal. And he is, as I said, the main transfer, shall I say, Erik ten Hag's number one transfer priority. but there are other midfielders that we can go for. And it's crazy to see that we are not acting on more than one transfer. Why are we not doing that? Why are we only subjecting ourselves to work on one deal at a time? But that shows where we are. We don't have that strength in terms of prestige as a club anymore in order to do that. We need to focus and be patient. But sad to see that the other clubs have, started the transfer business strongly, and we are still having to deal with a player that we are still trying to make a move for. We're delaying things, we're taking long, and yes, we are right to be upset as a fan base. We are furious at the delay, but we have to also be patient because things are different. Ten Hag is doing the business and the work in the background. So it is not us that needs to, have any sense of aggression towards the board, John Murta and Richard Arnold, etc. They are the ones who need to prove themselves to us. They need to prove that they can run this club successfully in the proper manner. Now, while I'm speaking about this, it also brings me into our next point of news. And this has been reported by Rich Fay. And it says the value of Manchester United has dropped by over £1.3 billion after shares fell to a record low on Monday. Now, I'm not one to normally speak about money and the financial side of Manchester United, but with our owners being the Glazers and the board, we've heard and seen that they continue to take dividends and profit for themselves out of the club. And hearing that our value has dropped by 1.3 billion shows that our, shall I say, inconsistencies on the pitch has now officially affected the financial status of the club. And with the club being lower in value, that definitely will have a knock-on effect to their pockets. And it should give them an alarm, a wake-up call to realize that Manchester United, a football club, needs to have footballing success first. And automatically, the financial success will be there. And hopefully now, because of this loss in value, they will act. We will start seeing movement. We will start seeing offers being made to players that are our targets, such as Frankie de Jong, Anthony, etc. But sad to hear that we have lost value financially, even though we are the biggest club in the world. This will definitely have an impact on those sitting in the boardrooms and looking at numbers. This should make them realize that we need to have footballing success back at Manchester United. Now, just quickly, also in reports, and this is from the Record Portugal and Sport Witness, they have said that Manchester United are the most interested in Porto midfielder Vitinha, and he fits Ten Hag's style. He is heading for an imminent exit. His 40 million buyout clause will be exercised by a Premier League club, with Manchester United the only one named. Goodbye is getting closer and closer for Vitinha. I did some research, looked at Vitinha, and 21 years of age, lots of potential, a good player, very, very good in tight spaces, and is able to play passes, key passes, very, very quick on his feet. Reminds me of a Gavi, a Pedri, a Bernardo Silva, type of player, a Phil Foden-like class in terms of his movement when he's on the ball. And in my opinion, is more of a, shall I say, Frankie de Jong backup if we don't get Frankie de Jong. Now, let's not rule it out. His 40 million release clause is something that we can look at. And if he is a player that fits Ten Hag's style and is a player that Ten Hag wants, then we must back what Ten Hag wants at the club. I've said it before. If Ten Hag wants to bring in someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Danny Ings, we must back his decision because he knows what he wants for the team and he knows what type of players he needs for his system to work and to be successful. So if Vitinha is a player that we are going to get, we need midfielders. We lost Matic, Mata, Lingard, Pogba. we need midfielders. So if we get Frankie de Jong and we look at someone like Vitinha and perhaps a defensive midfielder, fine, fair. That's three midfielders in. That will be an upgrade on what we already have. But one to look out for in the future, definitely Vitinha. Go and give him a watch if you haven't seen him. But he's a decent player. But in my opinion, just a backup in case we don't get Frankie de Jong. Lastly, as you saw in the thumbnail, I did say get it done. And this is simply because Ekrem Kunur, the Brazilian journalist, has come out and said Erik ten Hag wants Anthony and Frankie de Jong transfers to be finalized as soon as possible. He doesn't want any more time to be wasted. He wants his players in before the pre-season tour to Australia. He wants them on that particular tour so that he can start working on his team, developing his team, and implementing his style of play and getting the players fit and ready for the season then already. He wants his new signings from day one. They cannot delay anymore. John Murtagh, Richard Arnold, and whoever is dealing with the transfers need to get their act in order. Get these transfers finalized. Get verbal agreements sorted. Get fees agreed between Barcelona, between Ajax. Jurrien Timber is also waiting for any news between Ajax and Manchester United. These are players that want to come to Manchester United, and we cannot delay anymore. This is why I said it's a crucial week for Manchester United, and we need to start making moves in the transfer market. Erik ten Hag wants these transfers finalized. Get it done for him. It's as simple as that. Don't delay. We wasted time on Darwin Núñez. We didn't go and get him. We could have gotten him, but we wasted time. We now look at Frankie de Jong. 5 weeks into his transfer. We should have agreed a fee by now. Yes, Barcelona are the ones delaying, but we should have agreed a fee. We should go out and pay the money. The fact that we have lost value financially should definitely kick them up their butts and let them know to go and get the players Ten Hag wants so that we can get this club back to the top, competing and winning trophies. Thank you guys for joining me in today's video. As always, thank you for those who have subscribed already. And of course, for those who haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Thank you guys for joining me. That is it, me, Session Johnson from the Street Within. Till we speak again soon. Bye-bye.